we have a really good class of senior leaders. A lot of them have been leading already. As juniors, even as sophomores, took on a leadership role and did a really good job with it. So I think you're going to see Stephen Fay stepping into a really strong leadership role on our team. I think Evan Mulloy and Luke Robbins are another couple of guys that are going to be good leaders for us, and Jake Maloy has earned the respect of everyone. He's our school record holder in the 100 backstroke, and even our final senior, Michael Polo, is someone who kind of scratched and clawed his way onto the team as junior year, and I think everybody on the team has a lot of respect for what he's done as well. So I think the leadership will come from the entire senior class, top to bottom. All 5 guys have a lot to bring to the table. The immediate focus is to get everybody back into some sort of aerobic shape, but more importantly than that, to set the tone for the season. We have a long season. We have 27 weeks to be ready to be at our best, so we're not going to rush into things. We're going to make sure that the tone and the culture is how we want it to be. That's going to set us up for success in the long term. And we'll get ourselves in shape. We're going to do a lot of dry land. We're going to do a lot of technique work early in the season, make sure that our fundamentals are in place, and we'll slowly ease our way into some really heavy training so that we're ready to peak in February. And that's our goal, is to be at our best at the end of February at CAAs. Last year's CAA meet gives us a lot of confidence heading into this year. We swam very well. It probably couldn't have gone any better than it did for our guys last year. And even though we were 5th place, I think it really set us up and gives us a belief that we can be a top 4, top 3 team in the CAA this year, and eventually make a run to be one of the top teams in the CAA. Everybody across the board had lifetime bests at last year's meet. We had some historic accomplishments that haven't happened in a long time in our program. We won the men's 800 free relay, which we hadn't done since 1999, and we won an individual event, which we hadn't done since 2005. So those kinds of things happening in our program just give everybody a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement heading into this year. Butterfly is a pretty strong event for us. KJ Shaw is our #1 guy that we can put up in both the 100 and the 200 fly. He's got the speed to split 48.6 on a relay, but he has the endurance to go 148 in the 200 fly. And KJ was 2nd at conferences in the 200 butterfly last year, and I know he's aiming to get his first conference title. In addition to him, we have Evan Maloy, who's put together a long career of success in both the 100 and 200 fly. We have Jake Maloy, who's going to be a strong 100 butterflyer for us. And then it's kind of some up-and-comers. Last year we had a guy named Nathaniel Holmes, who was a freshman, who nobody really expected much from, who dropped 11 seconds in his 200 butterfly. So we could probably see him stepping up into a bigger role this year as well. In the backstroke events, Sidney Glass is kind of our go-to guy. He was our fastest 100 and 200 backstroker and had a really productive summer. I know he's been training very hard and is excited for this year. Kyle McVeigh maybe has some of the best underwater kick that we've ever seen, and that allows him to put together a really good 100 backstroke. Of course, we have our returning school record holder in the 100 back, Jake Maloy, whose junior year was kind of marred with a sickness at the conference meet, so he didn't swim up to what he's capable of swimming up to. But if he does that this year, he could easily win the 100 back at CAAs. Evan Rutherford was a nice surprise for us last year in the backstroke events. We thought he was going to be more of a middle distance freestyler, and turns out he can go 151 in the 200 back, so that's a nice surprise. And then I think we have 2 or 3 freshmen that could step up and contribute as well. Tegan Clark in both the 100 and the 200, Lucas Dempsey in the 200 back, and Chad Nowakowski. So we'll be looking to those 3 to step up. two hotshot freshmen coming in that have both been 56 in the 100 breast, Chris Dong and Matt Getz, and I think both of those guys are going to be big-time players for the next 4 years in the CAA and the breaststroke events. But we also have returning Andrew Strait and Ben Ward, and they're going to be not giving up their spots easily, so I think we'll have some nice battles for the medley relay spots in the breaststroke. And you throw into the mix, and it's not just those four guys. You know, Carter Head is a guy who just made a USA junior national cut in his 200 breaststroke, so I think he could be a dark horse. And even someone like Nick Mason, who wasn't on our conference team last year, but has been improving steadily and could be a big-time player as well. So it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic works out with the two freshmen coming in and some of the upperclassmen. Our breaststroke lane is going to be pretty intense this year. Sprint freestyle events for us are a little bit thin. Ben Ward is our top returning sprinter, and he'll certainly be there again, and is looking to improve on his success from last year. And Stephen Fay, even though he is more of a distance swimmer naturally, has shown enough speed to come down and swim the 50 and the 100 freestyle and swim it pretty fast. Beyond that, we're going to be looking to the Perrot brothers. Freshman Cabell Perrot comes in as a highly touted sprinter, and we think he's going to be very capable in the 50 and the 100, and possibly going into the 200 as well. And even Hunter Perrot, who's mainly been a middle distance swimmer for us up to this point, much to his delight, could see some action in the sprint events this year as well. The distance swimmers on our team are really the core of our team. They've probably produced the most points for us in the past few years, and they're probably some of our most talented guys. When you have a distance lane that consists of Luke Robbins and Stephen Fay and Kyle McVeigh going back and forth, it's a pretty fun environment to be a part of. Kyle swam at Nationals this summer and is the returning runner-up in the 1650 at conferences. Stephen is the returning champion in the 200 free at conferences, and Luke is a guy who split a 138 on our 800 free relay that won the conference meet as well. So those three guys are going to be pretty tough to deal with for any team in the conference. And then you throw into the mix that we have a freshman coming in named Kemp Pettyjohn, who's been under 430 in the 500 freestyle, so he should be another impact player for us in the distance events that gives us even more firepower there. And I haven't even mentioned guys like Michael Moen and Tyler Poling, who both scored in events at conferences last year as well.